Hello everyone, this is Pusillanimous Gamer and welcome back to my single player let's play of Civilization 5. Continuing, we see that the Confucianism world religion failed, as we hoped, but unfortunately the Marble Ban passed. Us with one vote from Assyrian vote, one vote from Spain, unfortunately was not enough to overcome Babylon plus a few of his buddies. So we did lose quite a bit of happiness. I'm not 100% sure what the other one was from, but that will be a top priority, is getting that happiness back online. We will be finishing these two. This one was about to finish last turn, but as you can see, it's one hammer short, and that's probably because we lost that happiness, which gives us a 2% reduction in production for each point of happiness. So that 10% lost us that one hammer and didn't unfortunately finish that circus. Over here, we'll just keep these guys in place, continue their dance, and this guy, oh, he got kicked out because of the caravan as well, but this is going to Prague, which won't be the most gold out of any of them. I could technically send it to one of these other guys and increase the influence. I believe it would be for each one sent per turn for trade routes. Actually, I'm not sure about that. You know what? I'm so far behind here, I'm not even friends with them. Let's send it to La Venta. Really hope that we don't have a problem with Babylon, and just to see and test it out. So right now, you can see where it says each turn your influence with them will change by 0.78 until it rests at 20. And let's see what happens after we send the trade route to them. We might have to wait a turn. 0.78. Okay, so we will check that next turn. This guy back into the city. We do have enough generals. I don't want one down here in this contested area, but I'll just keep one in each city. These guys, I'll just keep working. I really wish these guys weren't on my tiles. But what are you going to do? I'll send this guy over to improve these wheat tiles so that they'll be a bit better as well. Austria attempting to take back its city with its probably lone trebuchet up here. Yes, please. Let's keep that going. Pretty sure that we still have crab and we didn't accidentally trade away the last resource. Yep. Okay. So we must have just met another one. All the way out here. Okay, so, yep, still 0.78, so that didn't change it. So it's not per trade route, it's each individual one. So it would be better to have sent it to Prague, but now we know. Wow. These two are fighting over the influence there anyway. Okay. Sparta has grown. We're still unhappy, so we're not going to force growth here. So let's lock that down. Once they do grow, we'll work some of these better tiles. And actually, for now, we'll do this. There'll be a few turns before Athens grows anyway, so we might as well just steal that good tile there. That's even growing with the negative modifier. So he's growing a quarter the normal speed, so that would probably be growing in another turn if it weren't for the negative unhappiness. Guys going back here, so we're fine with that for now. Let's move these guys up a little bit. This guy can stay in place in here. too long. Don't know why I'm finishing a market first. That must have been a holdover from when we annexed them, and I didn't realize it, but we really want to get onto that courthouse as soon as possible. And while we're at it, I could come down here and chop this forest, but I think I would rather leave it for that, just because that way, if Spain's trying to do something and come in here, it can block their line of sight. So I'm going to send this guy back this way as well to improve some of these tiles. This guy can come down here as well. See up here, Babylon getting some scary units. They have their Gatling guns up. No, we're not planning on declaring war, but you can go ahead. I really wish you would. Whoops. Babylon has order. Okay, so there. Mbaza Congo wants a pledge of protection. That's what the reason we didn't pledge them. They probably just got tributed by Assyria, but now that should be a free bunch of influence for us. Yep, I think it was 111 or 113 before, so we gained probably about 20 influence for free. Oh, that worked out pretty well timing wise. So that trader out ended. So we didn't really waste too much time there. I think I'm going to send this up to Sparta as well, so it gets that food and production bonus, and trade it with Prague. Fortunately, these guys blocking all my attempts at improving my land. I really don't need all your missionaries and inquisitors spawning and prophets everywhere, but the AI does tend to go a little nuts with their religion. You can see 3 prophets just wandering around freely up here. You'd never see that with human opponents. Might end up with Hinduism actually, with a prophet down here. That is interesting. So Austria decided to settle a city there, so Spain's just going to go take their newfound city. Can't catch a break. Vienna is starving. That's okay. It will be 6 turns, and by then we should fix our happiness, and we can change around everything so it can start growing. Peace treaty expired. Prague has a new ally, so wow, everyone is really fighting for control of Prague. Which will be important if kind of war in this region starts. Especially we don't want anyone that we're at war with controlling them. Although they are far enough that they shouldn't really hassle us too much if they become our enemy. We did lose Panama City. No quests, so we'll just give a gift. That will give us some more food, and oh, and that salt was enough to put us over the top in happiness, so that's good. Actually, let's come here and fix some of this. Here we want to grow. Wouldn't mind producing some, or having some production as well, but for now I really just want to grow this guy as much as possible. Okay. And until we know exactly what's going on with this prophet, I don't really want to worry about getting a temple up for the bonus from Catholicism. So we'll just hold on for now. Okay, so 5 turns from an engineer, 3 from a scientist. So we will get one here first, which will make all these other scientists a little bit more expensive, so we won't be quite getting them in 3, 4, 5 turns exactly. But this will be our first one. But for now, we send this trade route so that we get that food. Now we should, yeah, so that didn't start yet, but we will. Actually, we're at 25, so we won't actually be gaining any influence with them, but we won't be dropping any, really, either. Okay. Let's see. We do want to be careful about that happiness. We will be gaining some from this courthouse, and then pretty soon, in a little while, we'll have our coliseums up. I might want to consider getting a zoo, but what I'm thinking about are these guilds finally. So we really do want to push through some culture. I'm a little ways away from thinking about opera houses everywhere so that we can get Hermitage up, which we would really like in our capital. That really helps with the culture. But also we want to pay attention. We're 2 turns away from industrialization. Hopefully we'll have coal somewhere in our control, and if we do, we'll want to put up a factory right away. So we don't want to spend too much time building some unnecessary things. For now though, let's change these over so we keep growing as much as possible. And this guy's going to flip here, so we'll take back that iron tile so we can keep the production trick when the city grows. So now growing in 4 turns, that's not too bad. So what we'll do is get up one of our guilds. And I'm thinking that I want a writers guild as soon as possible. So we'll stick that there. And then those writers, as soon as they pop out, they'll give us boost to culture. I probably won't be using any of my great people for great works. I don't really think that's going to be the type of game that we're playing this time. So just that popping it for a bunch of culture and popping the artists for golden ages will do really well. We won't be too worried about musicians. We can worry about getting that guild up later just for the culture boost, but we're not going to worry about tourism. Meanwhile, here, I think we can do our artist guild. We'll get those up before we get our factories. Keep making farms. That guy can finally go sleep back in the city. And I did mess up down here just a little bit. We'll just do that for now. Okay, I really want to get the sheep tile improved, especially with that culture bonus. of course, should stay upset with us just because we're controlling her capital and we had that long war. Wow, Eiffel Tower. So, this really isn't something I'm used to. Like I said, I haven't actually won a Deity game yet. No, you can go ahead and fight her yourself. She doesn't really have any units worth killing for the honor bonuses, so I'll just leave that up to Spain. He can join in if he wants. What I was saying is, typically I play Immortal games, and I don't usually end up playing my single player games with the No Quitters mod. I do almost always play multiplayer games with it, but typically with Immortal, right around Renaissance Industrial era is when I'm used to starting to overtake the AI and its bonuses. And as long as I can survive past that point, typically I'm usually the first to start hitting these later eras. Just being a human player and typically playing a bit better than the AI. And the AI usually needs some of those hard bonuses to succeed this late. But with the additional bonuses to Deity maybe, and also going this honor route and trying to fight a military game when really I'm behind the military the whole time, it's probably put me in a position where I might end up just being too far behind in tech, where, look at this, I'm a whole era behind the top players. So that's a lot to catch up on, and there's a really big difference between some of the units down here and the power of the units getting up in here. We'll have to see. I never got to take out Babylon like I thought early. That fight against Vienna, or Austria rather, was a lot harder and a lot more draining than I had planned and anticipated. So we're going to do our best to catch up, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Meantime, maybe a few turns before that is finished. So let's just keep growing for now. Usually when I get that far ahead in the later eras, it's pretty much easy to have a runaway game where I can just finish things off with science, or I could be so far ahead in military strength that I could just easily dominate the world. But this will be quite a lot more interesting than that. So we did get a nice boost of Hinduism here. So that's interesting. I can buy a cathedral if I want in the capital. Which, you know, with anticipating some happiness problems, growing as much as possible, I might as well do. 3 point of happiness along with the culture and faith. And I think I'm going to work those guilds. I'm going to finish off this merchant, like I mentioned before switching that over. In the meantime, I can sacrifice some of my lower food tiles. I don't want to give up science, so I think I'm just going to give up this right there. Okay. That finished. I do have a couple coal. They unfortunately aren't already improved by mines. So this guy's gonna finish the pasture later, rush over there. This guy finished this just in time. So let's get all that coal up. So that'll be a few turns before I can make my factories. But after that, I'm going to want to do that as soon as possible. With that said, oh wow, I forgot to check this if I got it before. I do have a new spy. That's going to take forever trying to steal from Babylon. So they must have a spy in their capital or the buildings up that slow me down. So I could keep trying to spy steal, or I could try to put some spies in some of these cities to gain some of that influence with them. Although I haven't been paying attention to city-states and if any of them have drastically changed, meaning that enemy spies are in them. But I'm thinking, just being so far behind in science, that I really want to attempt to at least keep spying on my opponents. So this guy's going to move to Istanbul just so we can see what's what. This guy's at least going to check out what he's doing. He is building military, building some cannons. Thankfully, it's not artillery already. Look at this. The AI has all these things here that it's not working. And it's working probably some junkier tiles instead. He does have some nice great work slots up. A ton of wonders. So Babylon is doing really well for itself. Hydro plants already. So they must have finished world patronage, rather, getting these. This is just with the mod. They add buildings to give those additional bonuses that aren't in the base game. Yeah, look at this police station. So that's gonna slow me down. So all in all, it's doing pretty well. Between that and the constabulary, no way we're going to steal any tech from him anytime soon. And I'm so far behind everybody that I could basically steal from anybody. So I think I'm going to leave India alone, and I think we can go down here and spy on Spain. To Madrid. Okay, so we do know we have our factory, so as soon as we get that up, we can get our ideology, so that's not a problem. If I didn't have any coal, then I would have to worry about getting to the modern era. To get your ideology, you have to either trigger having 3 factories in your cities, or having reached the modern era. So we don't have to worry about that quite yet. So the question is, what can I do to improve as fast as possible? I still don't think I'm really in any position to attack anyone. Although, this is really tempting, taking out some of these weak units. I'm sure Spain can come and push through and with some much better ones pretty quick, and same thing goes for Babylon, even though it looks like he's already fairly upgraded in his units. I'm thinking I should just get up my public schools as soon as possible, though. I don't have any mountain cities, so I don't really care about getting any of this stuff beyond possibly researching Compass to get that extra trade route as soon as possible. But you know what? Let's do that first. We'll go for scientific theory, and then from there we'll see. I do have this is not on a river, although this is. So a river, if we get a hydro plant in the city, that would be a ton of production. That would be the only one on a river, so that's not really too big a rush. I'm thinking towards this later game, it's really going to push things if I can get land ships and these slightly more advanced air units as soon as possible, and that might be where I want to make my push. So I really want to get the science building out to get there quickly. Okay, Fortunately, Gandhi might not be spreading this everywhere. I think I would prefer to have that production bonus and all that, but in the meantime, let's see. Could do the forge just for an extra point of production. Not worrying about any of the spy stealing on me. And like I said, it will be a few turns here. I think I should really just get up the extra trade routes. I'm going to have 2 coming. I could either send them from my capital or send them down here. I'm thinking if I send one here to Mombasa, Congo, I won't be losing any influence. And let's see. This we will... Okay, so I was wrong. This will just keep going up and up and up. That 25 would be the resting point if I didn't have the trade routes going. So, and I think I will be sending one to Milan. So I could try to keep these 2 allies. So, and I don't know. I'll have to see where I can send those from. But maybe I'll just send them from Vienna to get the extra production and food bonus there. Make the 1 caravan now, and I'll have to make the next one next turn when I open up the additional trade route. In the meantime, let's see. This one is making decent gold. This one will be really good to get my gold buildings. But for now, I'm going to grow these cities anyway. Let's see, stable would be really good in this city, so we'll do that for the production bonus, and we'll see from there how long it takes to get our coal up. So everyone's looking at Maria as pretty weak because she only has these couple cities and she's in a bad place anyway, so I'll let them go and pick on her. I've done my part. Looks like they are doing a little bit of fighting, which is good. This is really stupid on the AI. Yeah, let's walk a prophet around and protect it with a cannon all by itself. So that's what we're really hoping, those waste resources against each other. It looks like Assyria went with exploration. Conquistador. With the mod, Conquistador, instead of being a Spanish unit, is now an exploration unit, which I don't know where you find on here, but what it does, it's completely different. It's basically a knight that can be used, unlocks conquistadors, which is actually a settler unit as long as you settle on land outside your main continent that you started on, I believe. And so basically a settler with extra movement that actually can do some damage. So I don't know how to conquistadors. There's a small chance maybe that it's getting it from a militaristic city-state, but without exploration I'm really not sure. It might just have 1 point into exploration, which would excuse me, open it up. Okay, Spain beat us to autocracy, so we won't be getting any double policy bonuses for being the first to an ideology. So really, for now, it can go anywhere. Oops, I did not mean to move that. Let's do that. Meant to click this right here. So this great person could, wow, get us quite a bit. It could get us a little bit more than a technology. But for now, I still, even though it's getting pretty late to be planting scientists, really, because it took me so long to get up my universities, I still want to plant them. I want to get this science per turn up a lot more than I do that boost. And even though that's 8 science per turn, and you do the math here, but that doesn't include all the percentage bonuses that you get, so it's more than 8 per turn, because you get the modifiers from buildings and national wonders and all that as well. So I think what I'm going to do is build my forge. This is going to be a few turns anyway. Getting my mine up. Both of these. Then I'm going to plant this on my iron tile as soon as I get my forge up. I'm just going to wait a couple turns. I could try to change that so I get it this turn. I'm how far away? 5 production away. Let's see. If I postpone this guy and I do that. Okay, so we'll just get next turn. We'll finish our forge and then we can plant that scientist. I want to get the forge first because otherwise, with this being my only source of iron in my capital, I wouldn't be able to build the forge anymore and get that bonus point of production and the bonus to military unit production. Finished our guild here, so as much as I would like to get, maybe some of this faith and grow and stuff, yeah, I can work this. I can grow a little bit slower. I'm going to be done with this workshop pretty soon anyway, and I want to get that culture going as soon as possible. Speaking of which, I might as well start thinking about getting my hermitage, so I might as well just build an amphitheater. It's going to take a little while anyway before our factories. I can move to Vienna. After that forge, we will get our other caravan. Anima once. Yeah, I'm not bullying anybody. Look at this settler. That AI. So Spain can't get here, so Portugal will. I don't know what they are thinking. Austria's new city is going down, so that's something. So let's see. If this comes over here and settles, that should, I think, actually it wouldn't block another city. They could technically plant a city down here as well. So I do want to keep blocking this guy here. Vienna has grown, but let's keep growing. This can go to the Congo. Got a free unit, so that's good, and not a bad unit as it is, so I'll just get to keep that right there. Oh good, we got that stable up, so now these tiles are really good. Should have been working that a while ago. You know what, that's enough better that I'm going to work that tile. Start this. I'm probably going to finish the factory before finishing it, but I can get a few turns of production in anyway. reason not to get another production tile going, another mine. Yep, lost that city. So we'll see if Spain actually pushes all the way up here and totally takes out Austria. People denouncing Spain now for being a warmonger. Suleiman has entered the modern era, so you know that some of the other ones are there as well. Yeah, there's no way we're going to win a cultural race. Okay, so our great engineer was born. We can stop with the slot. No reason not to work the science tile. Continue growing as well. Rue, Salzburg has grown. Okay, so this engineer, I could, I don't, there's nothing I really want to rush. Well, that's not true. I might want to rush a factory in one of these cities that won't be making it as quick. But I'm going to hold on to it for a turn or two before considering planting it somewhere. Actually, let's send this down this way. He can just camp out there for a few turns. Monaco looked elsewhere. Jerusalem wants a natural wonder, and friends with Prague. So that is our trade route, slowly pushing that up. Could try buying out Prague. We would need 47. So we could spend 500 gold. Piss off Babylon quite a bit. But that would be a nice push to our culture. Look at that, city-state's making almost half, pretty much half of our culture right now. And we'll be making more than half if we buy it out. Then, Babylon probably actually doesn't have that much gold. I would like to save some for buying units quickly if I need them, but you know what? Big part of this is going to be getting through my policies as quickly as possible. If I have any chance of winning, I'm going to need those bonuses. So, we finished our forge. And did I finish that last turn? I must have, and then I forgot to plant my scientists, unfortunately. So, it was a turn of science that we lost. But, okay, this will go to Vienna. Okay, so we finally caught up on our trade routes, so that's going at full. We will definitely continue to work that tile, this tile, and I think I still want to work this faith. I really want a nice stockpile, especially if I need to buy great generals and stuff like that later. And I don't know. I don't think I buy any great people by finishing. Excuse me. Great generals can be purchased with faith. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think patronage unlocks anything that can be purchased with faith. Really tempted to finish this next turn just for that extra happiness, and the delegates wouldn't be bad, but that bonus production or food culture faith, although getting to rationalism as soon as possible is also would also be a good idea. Don't know what this guy is doing. Okay, so still 2 turns left on both of these guys. So for now, might as well just get up that amphitheater. They did make peace, as you can see here, so Spain's happy. Oh, they didn't even keep the city. They burnt it down. It wasn't even that bad a city, but I'm happy enough with nothing being there. They're probably raising this as well, so that's okay. Austria might go and plant another couple cities, but whatever. We'll let the AI be the AI. So hopefully Spain will move all these units back to focus on this war over here. I doubt they're really doing much damage to each other, but that's not really our problem. We're just happy they are fighting. We can see if he get that aluminum up.
Gelin pazarlığa tutuşalım. Hoşunuza gider mi?
Oh, Freedom Nay wants to buy some of my votes. You know what? 6 gold per turn is pretty steep. We know he wants to fight Ashurbanipal anyway, just because he asked us if we wanted to join in war with him. But you know what? I don't care about voting the freedom ideology, and I'll pay the gold just to keep them busy.
Tamam.
They will be fighting as well. I don't know if together these two fighting Assyria, if that will actually cause any damage. And Babylon, did he want to fight Gandhi or Austria? Trading away incense. Is there any way to get more incense? Guessing none of these city-states. One of them has incense. Need 67 to get over. That loss of happiness would be a problem, though. Is there any? Do I have any duplicate luxuries that I could trade away? A bunch of sugar, some salt, although those are probably from city-states. So let's see. If I could keep up my happiness, then I think that would be a fairly cheap way to instigate another war. But I can't. Nope, I don't have any extra duplicates in the AI. Don't have any duplicates to trade back. Oh, sorry. We're gonna make everyone mad. Oh, look at that. So she has she's open exploration as well with the 1.n. So that's a really nice thing with exploration in the mod. A lot of people try to go the strategy. It doesn't always work out too well in multiplayer. Right now it's still probably a little bit too weak, but it's still a fun strategy where it's kind of like a later game Liberty, where rather than building a bunch of cities early, if you wait and you open a couple exploration policies, it really pumps up some of these cities. Just opening it gives you the conquistadors and some extra movement for naval units, but getting the colonialism with one extra policy here is pretty cool. You get each new city starts with 3 more population, a free worker, 6 tiles, so kind of like a mini Shoshone bonus, and a governance mansion building, which gives an extra 3 happiness to make up for the 3 extra population. So if you can wait and then spam a bunch of cities, if there's still enough land left or a whole bunch of islands, then you can get a pretty cool start on your later cities. The problem being starting some cities so late, it might not make up for the fact of losing all that time having cities in the beginning. But it's an interesting play, and you can actually get to exploration pretty quickly. I think it unlocks in the medieval, if I'm not mistaken. Not 100% sure on that, but you can get to it pretty quickly in the mod. So I'm guessing Spain isn't going to settle a new city, although they might, just because the AI being AI, they might go in here. But I think I'm done with trying to block it over here. I already lost that spot. Fortunately, we did lose a nice river tile. It's not that big a deal. Okay. We would get our scientists faster if we go in rationalism. I think, like I said before, I'm just going to finish off patronage. With that, I think I am going to call this the end of the episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.